Good morning, and welcome back to Maycember. It's like the hectic month of December with all of its busyness, but without Christmas presents and great music. We are sort of like crawling to the finish line this week. It is the last week of school. Some of you might be just arriving at Maycember, maybe because your kids don't get out of school for another month or so. We have been living in it really since the end of April. So we've had lots of extra concerts and recitals and programs and awards assemblies and banquets and what have you. If you are new here, I am a mom in the middle years. My children are not babies or preschoolers anymore. I have an 11-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 15-year-old. So I'm definitely in like the middle season of mom life. And I just thought I would start vlogging a little bit more to show a little bit more about what that's like, because it comes with its own unique set of challenges and lots of good things too. I mean, there are some good things about your kids growing up and getting older. So welcome. Somebody asked to see the peonies. They're still kind of struggling a little bit, although over here in the sunshine, there are some really nice looking blooms. I might trim those. You take them inside. I forget what these are. There's some kind of wild rose. I am not a person with a green thumb, so I can just tell you it's pink. Or it grows in a bed, or it grows in a pot. These little bushes are starting to bloom, these little yellow flowers. They're not daffodils, they kind of look like it, but again, I forget exactly what they're called. I'll probably try to look it up and put it down here for you. We've got a couple more of those bushes over here, so they'll all be yellow here in the next few weeks. And then my favorite on the other side of the yard are just starting to bloom. The hydrangeas are starting to come out, and we have several of these around the yard, and they will bloom at different times. But this one over here that gets the most sun is the first one. We've got a few small blooms, but they will be like as big as my head eventually. I have been sitting at my computer finishing up a video that's due to a sponsor for my other channel today. And of course, in one of the busiest months of the year. I mean, it's always busy for family, but May is just a different kind of busy, as we've discussed multiple times. And just keep saying it so that you know you're not alone if you're also experiencing it. This is just that time of year. But for me, on my primary channel, which is where I make most of my income for my business, this is the month when I have more sponsorships than any other month, like for the past 6 or 8 months. And I don't want to say no to any that I want to work with, because sponsorships really slow down for me in the summer. I usually just have 1 or 2 a month in June and July. AdSense slows down, so May is a good time to kind of give that last gasp of productivity on my channels before I get kind of laid back and even take like a little break here and there during the summer. I still put out content, I just typically put out less of it. And I've been sitting out here to do that because the workers are here installing the cabinets in my kitchen. They're installing the cabinets, so kitchen renovation is coming along, but it's very loud. I came out here so I could hear, and then we're probably gonna get out of the house while they're doing that work. By the way, that water noise is this pond that we have. We think the previous owners put this in to help drown out some of the traffic noise that backs up to our house. If you're ever like, what is that sound of running water? It's this right here. We used to have koi, but unfortunately they got sick and we couldn't save them. So we actually have some new little goldfish that we are trying to raise in the pond. They will grow to the size of their container, like little goldfish that you would normally put in like a bowl in your house. You put them in a pond like this, they're gonna get to be like 6 to 8 inches. So you can't maybe see one. They're kind of hard to see because they're still really small right now, but we're hoping in another month or so we'll have 8 or 10 really good sized goldfish in there. Okay, a few household chores, a little bit of makeup, and here I am at Sherwin-Williams. I do not wear as much makeup in the summer. I mean, all year long I have days where I go without it. In the summertime, I tend to use a lot of like tinted moisturizers, like really lightweight foundations on days when I'm not doing heavy filming or like going on a date night or something like that with my husband. I'm usually looking for like lighter coverage with an SPF, little mascara. That's it for today, for sure. With so much going on lately, the mantra I keep repeating to myself in my head is just do the next thing, because it can be kind of overwhelming when you've got a busy schedule. And for me, I can become overstimulated by the amount of things on my to-do list, and I can kind of get this analysis paralysis because I'm trying to figure out what the exact right order is to do everything in to be the most efficient. So I've just been trying not to overthink it. Just do the next thing, whether that is start a little laundry or finish a little laundry or finish that work project or send that email or sign that kid up for summer camp or what have you. And the next thing for me right now is come into the paint store and pick out some paint samples for the kitchen, which is gonna have its own little bit of overstimulation because I've mentioned before, I'm not a person who has a great eye for home decor. I'm not very artistic, which I know we're not necessarily talking about artistic in the same way when we're talking about kitchen cabinets and walls, but still, I'm kind of nervous. Like, what if I choose the right thing? And people have really strong opinions about this, so I haven't really talked much about what my overall ideas are for the kitchen because, you know, I just really don't want a ton of feedback on that. It's more of a, hey, I'll show you when it's done. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. But I will say that I'm pretty sure I'm going to paint the cabinets green, kind of like a sage green. That is my favorite color. Green, I'm actually wearing it today. Green is one of my favorite colors, and I have loved the looks, especially in a larger kitchen like mine, with kind of that earthy, kind of sagey green. It's not Kelly green. I'm not doing mint green, but hopefully I can find some things that will be in that color palette and just kind of put it up on the cabinets and see what it looks like in my kitchen with my lighting. That's one of the things that I'm 95% sure that's the direction I'm going. Definitely not doing white cabinets again. That's just me. Okay, man, paint samples are expensive. Like the kind where you actually like buy a quart. I feel like they used to be $5 or $6 for a quart. I know it's Sherwin-Williams. It's a little pricier. That is what my contractor wants to use, and it was $11 for each quart sample. And I wanted 6. I wanted 3 for the cabinets and 3 for the walls so I could look and see kind of where I am. And I thought, you know, that's a lot of money to spend on paint samples, but compared to what we're spending on a kitchen renovation, drop in the bucket. I gotta like make sure we're getting it right. And we actually have wiggle room. The estimate for the kitchen came back under what we had budgeted. That's what we were hoping, because you always run into snags and things are gonna cost more. And we wanna purchase new things for your new space. But man, $66 on paint, most of which will not get used. I mean, I guess we'll find something else to do with it. Maybe I can paint some furniture or some picture frames with it. I don't know. The next stop on the just do the next thing tour of errands is Target. I have this random list of items that we need. My husband, myself, the kids. If it's not something super urgent, we'll just jot it down, and then when the list gets long, I'll just run out and get it all at once. And I'm at Target because I think I can get everything on this list here without needing to go to another place, which is always great if I can just do one stop shop. Okay, Target haul. My oldest daughter asked for some body wash and also some facial cleanser. She has pretty sensitive skin, so when she says this is the one I like, I just get it. No questions asked about the brand or try to get a less expensive version. I just get exactly what she asks for. She also recently had a curly haircut, like a haircut with a curl specialist. She has always had curly hair, and so she got a really great shaping with that, and the stylist made some suggestions for different products, and some of them were things that she has used before and she was just out of, so I picked up 2 of those items that she wanted also. And speaking of hair, I have been using this brand that I see at Target called Kristen S. I've been using some of those hair products, and I was out of the blow dry, like the heat protectant, the blow drying mist that you put on before you blow dry your hair, and I balked at the price when I first purchased it, but I have not replaced this for 8 months. It lasted me 8 months, that little bottle, and the other 2 products I bought at the same time. So I think that's a, you know, fairly okay value for the money. A few grocery items. My husband's gonna grill burgers for us tonight, so I picked up some items for that, and also a few lunch items. Some gum I don't need, some protein ice cream I don't need, although I've kind of wanted to try that Target brand and see how it compares to the Halo Top. My Ninja Creamy is packed away right now, so I can't use it. I also picked up a few beverages. I got some tea and some protein shakes that I use exclusively like for coffee creamer, and some Capri Suns that I need to send with my daughter for a class party tomorrow. Without a kitchen, we've been using a lot of paper goods to eat off of, so I picked up some more of the paper bowls. We have plenty of the paper plates and the cutlery, but we keep running out of the bowls, so I picked up a bunch. And also a little pill container, because I'm old and I can't remember if I've taken my vitamins every day. So I just got a container to put them in, that way I can see. So you see what I mean now by random stuff, like super random list. But I was able to get it all at Target. Since the last time I picked up the camera, I have been to pick up 2 of the children at school, brought them back home, then taken one over to a tennis lesson. Ken has been taking a tennis lesson once a week, but I don't think we're gonna keep doing that. She is playing volleyball and basketball in the fall, so I think we'll probably just stick with those things. But last tennis lesson today. Then I ran over to Sherwin-Williams to pick up the paint samples I ordered earlier today, into Walmart to get ice because we were out, and with our refrigerator, like, it's plugged in, but obviously there's no water line in the dining room, so the refrigerator can't make ice right now. And then when I got back home, my husband was off of his last meeting, and he said he would go over and pick up Ruthie from school. And so I like hurried and changed into my gym clothes and caught the 4:15 workout at Orange Theory. I normally don't work out in the afternoons. I try to get that done in the morning or around lunchtime because I am usually very tired in that kind of late afternoon, early evening time. I'm a morning person. I'm the most productive between like 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then after that, my productivity just dives. So usually I'm not a big workout in the afternoon person, but I went ahead and did it today so that I wouldn't have to go tomorrow. I typically go to Orange Theory 2 or 3 times a week. And tomorrow I really need to film a video for my primary channel. Today wasn't like a super hard workout. It was a benchmark. They have these workouts that they have you do like 2 or 3 times a year so you can see how you're improving. So it might be a 1-mile run, or it might be a 12-minute run for distance, or a 500-meter row. Today it was a 1,000-meter row. And so that's like the main thing that you're kind of like prepping to do in the workout. And then the rest of the workout is a little bit different than normal. Normally it's like half on the floor, weightlifting, half on the treadmill, a little bit of rowing mixed in. But when they do those benchmarks, which usually only take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, it kind of changes up the class. And a lot of times what happens is that like you're working really hard on that benchmark, which is in like the first 15 minutes or so of the class. Half the class does it, and then the other half of the class does it. But then you're kind of like winded and out of gas for the rest of the class, so it can make for kind of a challenging day, trying to make it through the rest of the workout after one of those benchmarks. It is the next day. It's actually evening of the next day. The next day is almost over. I did not pick up the camera again after the last time I talked with you guys because I had a terrible allergy attack last night. I have had horrible seasonal allergies for pretty much my whole adult life. In fact, I can almost like set my calendar to the middle 2 weeks of May being kind of the peak of the allergy symptoms for me. And some days are better than others, but at its worst, it's just like severe drainage, headache, and really itchy face and eyes. And also I get very, very drowsy. And no, it's not for medication because I have tried all different kinds of allergy regimens. And really, I don't take a lot of medication. If I take an antihistamine, which is the kind of thing that would make you drowsy, I take it at night when I go to bed. So I haven't had any medication. It just is one of those weird things. I get very drowsy. It started back when I was a teenager. My parents said that I used to like sleep through spring. And we found out years later when I finally visited an allergist that yeah, it's like a symptom of having severe seasonal allergies. So anyways, last night it just kind of all came on and I just kind of crashed in the rocking chair. My husband made burgers. I went to bed earlier. I did like wash myself and did a nasal rinse and took my antihistamine, and I slept for like a solid like 9 hours or so. It was just one of those times when the allergies were high. And it really stinks because this is one of the best times of year to be outside where I live. From about mid-October through November, and then from about mid-April till mid-May, that's just when it's the most pleasant to be outside. And so I refuse to stay inside just because of my allergies, but then I end up paying for it later. But anyhow, it was just kind of another average day in my life, and I will be coming at you with another one pretty soon.